Well, we all believed in that spinning ball. Indoctrination blinded us all. From the very first day that we went to school, they put a globe in your face and that thing looked cool. The teacher explained how it all worked. Of course it sounded so berserk, but who was I to question it? Because I was just a tiny kid. It sounded crazy as could be, but teacher would never lie to me. She was real nice, she didn't know. She too was taught to believe in that globe. I don't blame her, it wasn't her fault. She was only repeating what she'd been taught. I went through life believing that lie. That spinning ball was now in my mind.
Don't let them take your mind.
Don't let them take your mind, man.
Don't let them tell you that you are not divine.
Don't let them do it, man, no.
Take control of your soul.
Take back control. Yeah.
Find the truth. Find it all.
Find it all, man. Yeah.
Don't believe their lies.
Don't believe it, man.
Let them take your mind.
Don't let them take your mind, man. Alright, man, listen up. So I'm hurling through space on a road to nowhere. So I live my life without a care, cause I was taught that there ain't no creator. That's what I was told from my educator. So I live my life so selfishly, there ain't gonna be no hell for me. I'll do what I want with no care.
Now yesterday I did a video on predicting the future based on what happened in the past on the DAX and the S&P after somebody made a comment on one of my YouTube videos on Bitcoin. Now today I've got an email from somebody asking me about the ASX 200, the Australian market. So I just thought I'd bring up to date two videos that I did in the past. Now for a long time I've been doing videos about these numbers that you can see here. Okay, and then when the market was around about here, I did this video here, WD Gann's great discovery revealed on August the 5th 2018, and this is a link to the YouTube video which will take you to that part on the timeline, which is where the Australian part is talked about. And then it predicted that that might be a level in the future and it might get broken by a little bit. Now I then got a sarcastic comment by somebody saying they'd wasted his time watching the video. So on December the 28th I actually showed what happened afterwards, and that's the link to the video, which I've just watched again, which I thought was quite funny. Anyway, it just happens to be exactly where the market tops out. It got to the level that I predicted and I said it would be broken by a little bit, and that's exactly what happened. So obviously things have happened since then, and there's obviously more numbers in the sequence. Now it's going to be easier to see this on a daily chart, so let's go to the daily chart. So when I did the previous video it was predicting this top here, okay, and I said it would get broken by a bit. But this is a good example of why this can be difficult, because it gets to the level that I was interested in and then it shows weakness. Okay, then it goes back up again, and that could actually stop you out, because you might have got in here when it broke below that low. You put your stop, it has this big fall, you move your stop loss to your break even point so you can't lose any money. Then it comes back, hits it, gets the level that you should have waited for in the first place, by which time you've lost confidence because you just broken even or made a small loss, and then it comes shooting down, and that's where the market turns from. Yeah, but also it might not have quite got to that level and you would have missed the signal. I'm not saying this is easy, because it certainly isn't easy, but at least I can give you a fighting chance. Now the next number in the sequence after 103.846, and I know some of you have actually worked it out what I was doing, is this number here, and it can be broken by a little bit, which is this lighter colour here. Where was the next top made? It was made there. The next number after that one is 110.714%, which might get broken by a bit, which is that lighter line. Now it didn't last very long, but where did the market stop? The next number in the sequence is 113.793,103. It might get broken by a little bit, which is what the lighter line is. What did it do? It got to the level, it broke it by a little bit. Again, it didn't, it stopped the market. But just because something's going to stop the market doesn't mean you necessarily want to trade it. Okay, so you're looking for where you've got good signals, and that's where you use other tops and bottoms to find out where things coincide. So for example, yesterday when we were looking at probably the DAX, there was a few levels I was watching which happened to work into the future, but there was only one I was looking to trade. Yeah, so bear that in mind. Now the next one is 116.66, which it got to, and it might get broken by a bit, which it got halfway in between, and then we come down for a couple of weeks, and then the final top that we just made, and the market today looks like that, is 119.3548, which happens to be where the market got to, and it got broken by a little bit. Now I said that last year, okay, and I've been talking about those numbers for at least a couple of years, okay, and all those tops have been made on those levels. Is it random? Well, you can believe it's random if you want, but I just think, as I keep saying, it's just mathematical. So of those numbers, what's actually happened if we think about it? Top, 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 top. The only times it's actually stopped is where those numbers are. I'm not picking and choosing, okay? I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet, but even if I say so myself, that is pretty unbelievable. Just proving this is not some mystical thing, okay, which is kind of what I used to think when I was back in the 1980s when I started doing this, and I was looking at the Fibonacci series and bunny rabbits multiplying in the series and galaxy spirals and all the other BS that's out there, okay, and astrology and other twaddle. Yeah, this is because the markets are just controlled, and because the powers that be control the exchanges, they can do anything they want. If you've got a big board at the New York Stock Exchange and you can control what's on that big board and what prices people have got to buy and sell at, you can put the price to anything. But obviously it's beyond one human being's or 100 human beings' brains to actually manipulate all these things. So they've written a computer program, because they've had computers a lot longer than you believe. So I just thought I'd do it quickly. I hope you found it interesting.